had a bit of a mare yesterday. When I tried recording it, I got 20 minutes in before realising that the screen capture wasn't recording, the screen capturing the audio. So I went to do it again. When I went to do it again, I then found out that something else wasn't working. I tried a third time, and then my girlfriend rang me up ready to come home after a night out of drinking. So it didn't happen last night. So the project does look a bit different than it did in the previous video. So I'll quickly run you through what's actually changed. To start with, I felt that the bass and the percussion remind me of the feeling I got from it. Felt a bit like John Summit's Deep End in terms of the power of it and the groove of it. And I felt like what I wanted to do with that, I wanted to use that as a reference for later down the line when it comes to the mix down and the mastering, because I know that's got a lot of percussion, a lot of groove, and then the low end is very subby and tight, and that's what I wanted with this track. Obviously mine's different because it's got the piano in there as well, so it's got a bit more of a melodic element to the song, but in terms of the groove, I wanted it to be similar to John Summit's Deep End. What I've also done is I've then gone through his track and then just put down some markers just to give me some inspiration when it comes to the arrangement. I've moved it forward by 16 bars purely because his version, after 16 bars, the bass is introduced. For me, I like my DJ intros to be 32 bars. It just makes things easier to mix, but I am also bringing in the bass a bit early here, but it's filtered, so you only get the high end of it. What other things did I do? I think I turned off something in the percussion because I weren't feeling it. It felt a bit out of time, and it was so minute that it didn't feel like it was needed. The piano here has been chopped up, so beforehand, what I did was I went in and there was a part in it, this part here. I decided I'm going to remove these bits around it and just use it as a stab every now and then, and that's what this is. And this is just to use as something to keep the track interesting and different. So what I'm thinking is that this would be filtered in, or there's some effects happening to it, just to introduce the piano rather than going straight in with this, which is something we can do further down the line with the track. One thing I did also change that I forgot to mention, or I feel like I forgot to mention, I've recorded the video so many times now that I'm forgetting what I've said in this video and what I've said yesterday or whatever, but I did change the bass. Now, when I was listening to the first bass with the reference, I felt that it was a bit weak. So what I've done is I've gone in and decided to change it up. So I changed the preset up completely. I think we started using clean sub, and what I've done now, I've actually just reset it just so I can show you what I actually did. So that's it on its own. Very subby, very powerful. Gets span open. You can see here how powerful it is, but you can also see that it's dropping off below 200 hertz. So the problem with that is we're not going to be able to hear this on crappier speakers. So I think I changed it to this wave. I think that's a saw wave, which is adding more harmonics. But as you can see, there is still gaps in the bass. I want this to be like a big, round, fat bass that kind of, I think of it like the mountains. So there's a mountain, there's a mountain, there's a mountain. So I want it to be one giant mountain with a big slope. So after I made it to this saw wave, if you go into the edit mode, you can see here this oscillator table. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but basically if you start bringing some of these up, you'll hear a difference in the wave format and a difference in the sound. The thing to think of is that these lighter grey bands are the next octave up. So if I bring this up, it's changed the wave format, but if we look at span as well, it's also filled in some of the gaps. And that's all it was missing an octave. So having that in there now, I could make that octave the loudest part of it, but I don't. I want the low sub to be the powerful part. And then if I wanted to, I could add even more. Obviously that gives it a completely different vibe, which I do not want. So I'll bring that back down. This is another octave, so we'll bring that up as well. Maybe not that high, because like I said, I want it to be this sort of one giant mountain. Now the ones in between are just these darker bands. I can't remember fully what they are. I don't know if it's the 5th, the 7th and the 9th or whatever, but basically it's another harmonic to add, which again will change the sound for you, but I don't want that, so I'm not going to bring that back down. One thing to note here is that we're actually only still got frequencies up to about 300 hertz. So the next thing I did was I added decapitator, and that is adding even more frequencies, more harmonics, I should say. Basically making it so you can actually hear this bass on speakers on your laptop, for example. You might not necessarily hear sub basses and maybe a phone too. It's always important to think about those things as well, because basically when I was just laying on my bed messing around with the project, and when I was on my laptop I couldn't hear the bass, so at that point I was like, right, I'm gonna have to change that, and that's why I got to this, and now it's a bit more present on these laptop speakers. So I'd recommend actually listening to tracks on different speakers as well. Even if you've got professional speakers, go listen to it in crappy headphones, crappy earphones. I recommend doing that as you go rather than, right at the end. So you can already kind of fix problems that might happen later on, early on instead. Other things I did is cut off anything below 40 hertz. What I also found was certain notes are more powerful than others. You can see here how certain notes are louder than the others. What you want to do with a sub bass, ideally you want that to be the same, so it's constant power. You don't want it to drop at a certain point. Let's keep it powerful. So in past videos I've been using compressors to do that, but then realised that compressors are good when you need to control the transients of something. With a sub bass you don't really need transients, depending on your bass obviously, but a limiter here does the job. So as you can see with the limiter on, everything's closer together and the same power. If I turn that off, it's all over the place, and now it's a bit more controlled. Obviously this dip here is just because there's nothing actually playing. So yeah, that's what I did with the bass, kickstart, and then I've also got this that's, I think I already mentioned this earlier, it's the automation for the bass. What were we doing before that? I think I was looking at the vocals. Because I wanted something to be here that could be used before it drops into the main bass. So let's go back to the vocals and see what I can find.
I know. What do you think about things? Believe me, I can't wait to know. What do you think about things? What do you think about things? What do you think about things, Bill? What do you think about things, Bill? Believe. What do you think about things? Believe me.
I think we could do that at different points, so it's cut off here and then later down the line we play the whole thing.
What do you think about things, Bill?
I quite like it like that. It kind of fits better with the bass. I think it's the actual notes in the vocal. So got a very straightforward snare roll. I might change that, but for now it's fine. I think I'm going to just find some effects quickly, just to help with transitions and get something in place.
Think about things, Bill. What do you think about things, Bill? Think about things, Bill. Things, Bill. What do you think about things, Bill?
Cool, I'll do for now. Obviously these transitions are quite abrupt, so we'll have to work on those, but it's fine for now. Just about getting the ideas in there. So we've got the vocal being introduced at the start. Maybe we need to bring it back in again.
Oh, I know.
update. I've not been talking much because I've just been dropping stuff around. So basically I've gone back to my elements over here and just started dropping them in, just to have them work as the variation as it comes in. So we've got the drop back here, you can see that the percussion's added, and then after 8 bars that's when the piano's going to start coming in. Then we've got the actual breakdown where the main vocal's going to come in. I'm still unsure if I'm going to have the main piano with it there as well, but we'll see. And then when we're going to drop back in, it's going to be another change. I'm not sure yet what to do. Maybe I will have the full piano playing there as well, just to play with the main groove of the track. I like the overall feel of it being quite tech houser, but then when it gets nearer to the break, that's when we're getting a bit more houser with the piano, especially with this groove. It's really nice.
I know I love you. I find it hard to see how you feel about me. 'Cause I don't understand you. Oh, you are yet to learn how to speak. When we first met, I will never forget. 'Cause even though I didn't know you yet, we were bound together then and forever. And I could never let you go.
Yeah, is that going to work now? I'm not sure. Nah, I don't think so. Get rid of it. Yeah, keep that in there for now. Quite like it. I think it's time to add a room reverb for the drums and maybe the piano. So I like to do this throughout a lot of my songs, is just have one specific return track that has some sort of reverb on it that the majority of things go into. It's not revolutionary, it's quite a common thing to do this. Just for now, I'm just going to do the whole entire thing. Make sure this is set up so it's 100% wet. So I also like to stick an EQ on it and just get rid of any lows, even though we've kind of done that here. I like to do this as well. Sometimes I do put saturation on it too, the default one. So you can really hear it on the sides when you solo the sides. So it just adds more to the sides and makes it a bit nicer to listen to in stereo. I think the piano is going to need its own reverb. So I am still going to use a return track for this because I don't want to drown out the original piano plucks. How it sounds in mono, which isn't great.
how you feel about me. So I know I love you. I find it hard to see how you feel about me. 'Cause I don't understand you. Oh, you are yet to learn how to speak. When we first met, I would never forget. 'Cause even though I didn't know you yet, we were bound together then and forever. And I could never let you go.
With all the elements I had in the previous video, we've been able to arrange up to the 3-minute mark, which is cool. It's sounding really good. Well, to me it's sounding really good. To you it might be shit, but to me it's sounding good. Just before I finish for today, I'm gonna see if I can make some vocal chops out of the vocal using the Mangle.
So I know I love you. I find it hard to see how you feel about me. 'Cause I don't understand you. Oh, you are yet to learn how to speak. When we first met, I will never forget. 'Cause even though I didn't know you yet, we were bound together then and forever. And I could never let you go.
Cool. Move on. See what else I can get out of this.
No, 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 no,
I absolutely love that plugin. Just so simple just to get this great vocal chop that works brilliantly. Absolutely love that. There is a couple that are slightly off the grid which I can fix, but I'm really happy with that, how that one's turned out. Right, want to cut this up a bit better. Banging. Right, now that that's on the grid, I think we need to compress it a bit just to catch those peaks. A limiter might work as well, but let's have a look. Just so we can see. Take kicks out as well. Cool, I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. and barely took me any time at all. I absolutely love this plugin for stuff like this, and a lot of the time I do just go to the preset weird and then just mess around with the preset itself. So yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna give it a quick spin so we can all hear it how it is. Probably start from this part rather than the right from the beginning. But yeah, this is where we're up to.
Oh, I know. Oh,
The vocals a bit loud now, but we can fix that later.
oh, I know. Oh. What do you think about things, Bill? What do you think about things, believe me? So I know I love you. I find it hard to see how you feel about me. 'Cause I don't understand you. Oh, you are yet to learn how to speak. When we first met, I will never forget. 'Cause even though I didn't know you yet, we were bound together then and forever. And I could never let you go.
Nice. I think the vocal chops come in a bit too soon. Probably get rid of them there and play the piano on its own and then bring them in, or even maybe bring them in again here, pretty much like the reference. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is going. I've just realised, I think as this is getting released, this video, I think the competition might have ended. So yeah, basically what you're looking at here, and the next couple of videos to come, is I've recorded these in advance so I can actually meet the deadline of the remix contest so I don't miss out. But yeah, that's where I'm up to with the track. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue with this in the next video. Hopefully get the last bit of the arrangement done. Got plenty to work with, so I'm confident that we can get this done and nice and groovy track with a bit of piano melody to it. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.